We are going back and looking at the introits for the Easter season. We've gotten to the third Sunday of Easter now. And we said on Easter Sunday, the speaker is Christ himself. Christ risen from the grave, praising the Father with this confidence and peace about him. The second Sunday, where we salute the newly baptized, the church speaks and addresses the newly baptized, encouraging them to live a life of simplicity without guile, trusting in God. Now the church opens up on the third week of Easter and addresses all of creation. Rejoice in the Lord, all the earth, allelúia. Sing psalms to his name, allelúia. Give him the glory of his praise, and then 3 allelujahs. So the effects of the resurrection move outward. We see, first of all, the person of Jesus, risen from the dead, living the new life in the Spirit. Then this new life is communicated to the church, and we celebrate this especially in the lives of the baptized, the newly baptized, who have just received this gift of the resurrection. But we see that it doesn't even stop with the human recipients of this gift. We see that all creation is groaning, waiting for the revelation of the sons of God. And here, in kind of foreshadowing of the final life of glory, of the recreation of the new heavens and new earth, all of the cosmos is addressed and invited to partake of this praise of God in his wonderful deeds. Now, the mode is interesting again. I'd like to point out how the modes help us to interpret the text. So last week when we looked at Quasimodo Geniti Infantes, it's in mode 6, which, as I pointed out, corresponds more or less to our modern major mode. It's a very simple kind of sound. The chant is almost sing-songy. This is quite a bit more vigorous. Listen just to the opening phrase of Iubiláte Deo. Iubiláte. So there is our modal note, that's the note sol, and it gives the particular quality to this mode. It is somewhat like major. You can go from sol to la to ti. It's a major third above the modal note. But then what is interesting is that there is a whole step below. So instead of, as in our modern major mode, where we would go do, re, mi, re, do, ti, do. This goes down a whole step below. Iubiláte Deo, omnis terra. And you'll notice that in that opening phrase, there's no T. The major third is missing. This gives this mode quite a vigorous feeling to it. If you can hear the space of the fifth between the lowest note and the highest, Iubiláte, from here to here, it gives it a pretty strong structural sense about it. And then ending on so with the whole step below it and whole step above it, again, feels very strong. It doesn't have any of the sort of nuance or delicacy of modern modes where we usually use a leading tone a half step below the time. Listen to the second phrase, psalmum, dícite. So in this phrase we get the T a couple of times, but it's interesting how it's de-emphasized in several ways. There are several strategies that the composer uses to avoid lingering on that note for too long. The first one is what we call quilisma. This is a special phrase, a special noon proper to Gregorian chant. The basic idea is it's a three-note figure. The middle one is quick and brings us quickly to the note above it. It's always an ascending figure. So we have several of these here. Dícite nómini eius. And each time we sort of slip by the T, we slip by that half step that's there to get right to Do, which is the dominant of this mode. So again, there's a real sense of direction, strength, joy, confidence. The second strategy for minimizing this note T, which forms a half step with Do, the dominant, now we're talking about, is on the word eius at the very end of this phrase. Nómini eius, eius. But instead of actually sounding that note to the full, eius, the composer has given us a liquescent, which means we want to shade that note toward the consonantal y on the word eius. Eius, so that you don't really hear the T quite that strongly. Again, these are quite nuanced things. With quilismas, you almost always find them in this sort of phrase, where you're going through a minor third, which always has a half step in it, and you sort of breeze through that half step so you don't really hear it. The quilisma forms a kind of link between two notes separated by a third, almost always a minor third. We're just going to sing straight through this one more time. I hope you can hear the joy. I hope we sing it with joy, even though it's not the Easter season right now. But we always have plenty of reasons to say that we should rejoice in God. So one more time from the beginning, Iubiláte Deo. Iubiláte